it's a balmy 28 degrees on Wednesday the 23rd of September, and still the pain continues for poor old Victorians, with Dan Andrews wanting more and more power every day. He seems to have a bizarre request for more power every day of the week. It's astounding. Oh dear, he is like a rabid dog. But anyway, I had my own little problems last night. I had my neighbour downstairs, just the woman, I think, I couldn't hear any male voices. She started laughing at about 1:45, and that went on for about half an hour. God knows what she was laughing about. But she's a nocturnal. They seems to get in activity at night, which is really good for me because I'm trying to sleep. After that, she put some stupid alarm on that kept ringing, you know, like something you'd have on your mobile phone, or some sort of an alarm, an electronic alarm, so it kept beeping, and that went on for about half an hour. And then later in the morning, she decided to have coughing fits at about 4 o'clock in the morning. So just total disruption to my sleep. I had earplugs, but didn't really help that much. Just a loud person. Just crazy. It'd be just so nice to actually have neighbours who sleep during the night. But I think her other half, he works apparently at the for the Defence Force, so maybe he was on assignment or something. But it was just her last night by the sound of things. She's bad enough. Actually, I think he's better. I think she's the problem, actually. But yeah, didn't get that much sleep last night, so I haven't caught up with any yet. So I could probably do with a nap once I get back from my walk. That'd probably do well. It's quite warm today. Like I said, 28 degrees, quite balmy. Yeah, very nice. But yeah, I'm feeling a little better this week than I did last week, so that's good. But yeah, I'd be even happier if that bloody Morrison prick allowed people to fly overseas. They're talking about possibly having a travel hub here in Cairns, which means there'll be international flights out. But again, if the Australian government allows individuals to fly, you know, I don't know what the hell's going through their heads restricting our liberties like that. I mean, he's not much better than Dan Andrews, really. That really stinks. I mean, if another country's allowing Australians to turn up there, if you're prepared to pay the quarantine, which is also bullshit because you shouldn't have to go through that expensive quarantine process coming back. You just have to do a test and then put an ankle bracelet on you, which indicates if you leave your home, then they know it, you've broken the quarantine. It'd be a lot better than being in a hotel, though, and a lot cheaper. So why can't they do that? But doesn't seem to be any communication, and the press doesn't seem to want to push the point. They're useless these days. I've only heard that mentioned once or twice, the thing about the Australians being prevented from going overseas. I guess the most priority is getting people back from Australians who are stranded overseas is worse, I guess, but I still feel as though my civil liberties are being infringed by having to apply to travel if and when I get a chance to go back to Vietnam. I mean, I haven't even got that opportunity at this stage anyway, so it's a moot point. But I don't need any hassles from my own government to make it even harder. It's ridiculous. A lot of traffic for Sunday. Oh dear. Noisy neighbours again. That's sort of not super noisy, just noisy enough to irritate me. Sort of being a light sleeper, I woke up about 1 o'clock last night, and of course it's always the woman that's the problem. She never shuts up. The guy's pretty quiet overall, but his partner, I presume, she just never shuts up. And I didn't quieten down till a little after 2 o'clock. I took a bloody sedative, I just needed to get some sleep. So that worked out okay. I woke up about 6:30, so I got some decent sleep last night, which helps, because I haven't been sleeping that well overall. And I mean, it's all, in a way it's good. I'm going through all this medical crap at the moment, but I can't go overseas because Scott Morrison's basically making all Australians prisoners in their own country. They're not allowed to leave unless they get permission from the federal government. Just disgusting, in my opinion. Civil liberties in this country have been shredded recently. Our rights are very, very fragile. They can easily be destroyed, and they are being ripped apart, especially in Victoria. But also New Queensland's had some pretty bad lockdown rules that have really disrupted families. This lockdown thing has just been an excuse for a lot of governments to assert their authority. And when you've got a weak federal government like we do at the moment, Morrison's weak as piss in my opinion. He's been a real disappointment over this coronavirus thing. He's done some good things internationally, and I think on the education front they did something positive. But overall, I'm not impressed with Morrison. I think he's a very bland leader without much of a vision for the future of the country. We need better than this. He won the election last year because he offered a relatively safe alternative to the wacky policies that Shorten came up with. They were crazy. Similar to what the Democrats are trying to pull off in America now. All this fairly strong left-wing ideologue stuff just doesn't go down well. In America, of course, now they've got rioting in cities, which we don't have here, and that's going to make it even easier for Trump to romp it in. But of course, the Democrats have now given up on democracy, and they're just going to basically fight the result in courts and say that mail-in voting was affected. Although mail-in voting can go both ways, can affect the Republican voters as well as the Democrats. So there's not much to be gained from it, in my opinion. I think actually all that's going to be gained is just going to undermine people's belief in democracy in America, and that's not a good thing. That's yeah, I really worry about what's going to happen there, because they have an influence over everything in the world. There's such a huge economy that, and with China the way they are, we need a strong America to basically counteract the negative impact of China at the moment. That's one area Morrison has actually shown some fortitude in dealing with China, but then again, on the one hand he'll say things against China diplomatically, but he's quite happy to embrace all the iron ore exports. He's not going to touch them, although he did talk to Modi, from the leader of India, about increasing trade ties. Now I'm just hoping that they're trying to transition from exporting primarily to China to other countries like India. That would be a really smart move, but unfortunately I don't think there's really smart people in Canberra. We can only hope. Like I say, Morrison is brilliant compared to Shorten. That's how bad the opposition were. They were just unelectable, and that's why they got rejected. Not that Morrison has a huge majority. He hasn't. He just got in. So, oh God, I hate this. Cars coming everywhere. Oh, there's more roadworks ahead. Jeez, they're obsessed with their roadworks here at the moment. So more hassles for pedestrians. I haven't been here since about Tuesday, so it's been quite a break between visits to the supermarket. I really need some fresh greens. I feel okay. A little fatigued, but I'm alright. But yeah, just building equipment everywhere. And they seem to take forever to do projects here. I think there's a lot of feather bedding taking place. If these projects were built in some place like Asia, they'd be so much faster and efficient. But I think it's in their interest to drag out projects to make more money. So it's not good. So this could be like this for months. It shouldn't be, but it will be. It's just the way it happens up here. Just waiting outside the Terry White chemist to get in. They don't open till 10:30 on a Sunday, so I forgot to bring my mobile with me, so I've got no idea what the time is. The guy in Oz told me it was about 10, probably about 20 minutes ago, so it shouldn't be too far off opening, hopefully. A few people waiting. It's about half a dozen people waiting to get in, so I don't know why they open so late on Sunday. 10:30 seems awful. I could have gone to the chemist warehouse across the road, maybe I should have. But energy levels are low, I don't want to do more walking, to be quite frank. I wonder if there'll be a copyright strike on this video because of the background music that's played in the mall. I couldn't believe that last time. Just absolute garbage. I wouldn't even know what they were playing. But, yeah, hopefully they'll open up the doors at some stage. It's just getting a bit frustrating. I just want to minimise the amount of walking I'm doing. I'm already feeling a bit sweaty, so I'll have to wait to get the prescription done, so I'll sit down and relax for a sec, so probably not a bad thing. Got myself a chook and pork chops at Coles, so, and parmesan cheese, so, and greens, so I got really what I wanted, lots of chocolate bars, add a bit of energy, which is good. I don't know what this guy's on about. Weird. Never seen this before. Got no idea what he's doing. Maybe he has no idea as well. He certainly blocked my way going across the railway lines. What he's on about. Very strange. Council worker. I don't need to rationalise things, I guess. Just go with the flow. In Palaszczuk, they've probably got an endless supply of dough too. Hopefully that'll dry up at the end of the month, 31st of October, election day. Hopefully we'll get a change. You never know. They're good at making noise too. Everybody's good at making noise up here. Noise and wind. Two of the constants in far north Queensland. Now it looks like Daniel Andrews might be in really hot water now. It looks like his colleagues are rebelling against him. So my prediction of the tap on the shoulder before Christmas could well come to fruition the way things are turning out. And that'd be a good thing for Victoria. I think basically Labor's sunk now. I think there must be a lot of animosity towards the way they've run things, and I'll be very surprised, even in Victoria, to see Labor get back in, which is possible because they are crazy down there, crazy socialists. But you just never know. There's certainly people that aren't happy. They come to my channel and they're very unhappy with Dan. So it's not universal praise for him, not that he deserves any praise whatsoever. It's one of the most despicable leaders we've ever had in Australia, in my opinion. He seems to take great delight in circumventing freedoms of the citizenry. He's a libertarian's nightmare, and I'm a libertarian, so I can tell you from my point of view, Andrews is poison to democracy. So maybe things will change in Victoria. They need to revamp education. They need the Liberals to be really going hard this time if they get it back in, because there are fundamental reforms that need to take place in Victoria to cement it as a democratic state once more. And one of those things is to revamp the education system so it's not pushing left-wing dogma in school classes, sack teachers who do it, bring back inspectors, get rid of the unions. I know it's a really radical agenda, and obviously the Liberals are such wusses they'd never do that. But that's what's needed. That's what someone like Trump might do, but not weak-kneed liberals like Morrison or aspirant state premiers. I'm afraid they just don't have the ticker. Not many politicians do in Australia. It's very depressing. Like I say, I'd love to see Mark Latham take control. He would institute reform. I'm positive of that. He wouldn't mess around. The Western Sydney boy won't take any crap. But he's not at the federal level for a start. And he's still got work to do in New South Wales. And New South Wales seems to be doing a lot better than most other states. I'm not wrapped in Berejiklian's left-wing social agendas that much, but on the economic side of it, she's done a very good job with New South, in my opinion. Anyway, we'll see. Leave you with a picture of the hills, and I'll sign off. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.